Rania Ayman from Entrepreneurial Social Enterprise in Egypt, Susana Balbo from Susana Balbo Wines in Argentina, which is not already here, so we're going to continue, and then she's going to join us a little later. Cecilia Tam, founder of MOB Fab Cafe Barcelona, and Lara Tabet from Dubai International Financial Center in Dubai. So welcome to you all, and we're going to start this panel in the order. So I will ask Rania Ayman if she wants to start presenting. Rania, welcome.
Hi, hello. Thank you so much for the introduction, and thank you for having me today with you in this very well-organized event. So basically, I don't consider myself a success story, as you mentioned, but I believe I'm in the process, and this is what I want to talk about today. So basically, I am an entrepreneur myself, and 6 years back, I established an enterprise in Egypt named Entrepreneur. It comes from an entrepreneur and L for the female founders is a French. So I remember when I graduated my business school, I learned entrepreneurship in my education, but I didn't know back then that that entrepreneurship is that big, that I could be an entrepreneur and start my own thing. And it's a life is not from 9 to 5 job. And when I started my first business, I found out I thought it was easy. Yet when I started, I found out that me as a woman, especially a Muslim-based woman in Egypt, it was a bit challenging to start my thing. So I followed what I loved, which was helping myself and helping whomever around me to start a small business where we can support each other and build a network of women who want to establish their businesses. And this is how Entrepreneur first started from 6 years. And now we're working with more than 50,000 Egyptian women in Egypt after 6 years of hard work. So what we basically do in Entrepreneur that we start with women entrepreneurs who want to start and establish by the awareness. The main issue in the ecosystem in Egypt that they don't know, they either made it or they already have their own businesses, or they cannot start. There is no in between. So we started with a very basic event named She Can, where we invited women who made their own businesses and women who are in the process of the making, and they shared their failures, they shared their fears. I believe most of the panelists who already spoke and the panelists who will speak in this event will all share the same fears. Entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs, as we call them, they have very similar issues that they face every single day. So back then, we started with 100 women who attended the event, and we were surprised that those women attended. And successfully this year, we had more than 7,000 Egyptian women on one floor, and we have investors believing in what we're doing, and we have ministers believing in what we're doing. So it started small, and then it grew. And this is the core of the thing. What I want to talk about today is the belief in the message, or believing in the core. When we believe that we can do something, even if it was small, and we persisted in doing this, it happened. And after She Can, we found out that awareness is amazing and everyone needs awareness every now and then, but we need something more. We need to be more educated. We need to educate ourselves, and we need to educate the people who already believed in the message, in the core, in the community and network. So we started doing acceleration programs and trainings and more stuff with an educational content related to entrepreneurship to help those women who already have their ideas to learn more how to turn those ideas to be a real business, or if they have a business, how to scale it up to a bigger thing. And now we're working in handcrafts, in recycling, and we're working in fashion and textile and food and beverage. We help women to learn the perks, the business perks of things. And then we found out that after education, they have another issue that they face, which is resources accessibility. Resources are available out there. We don't create the resources, or we don't get more resources. Thing is that we try to make the accessibility of the resources to reach everyone, because the problem or the challenge for women, especially in Egypt and in the region that I come from, is the accessibility to the resources. They are out there and they are accessible for women, but they don't have the linkage between what they have and the resource itself. So we try to create the bridge where they can get the resources and more. And the last thing, we try to help them in the funding to connect them with investors, more incubators and accelerators who can actually fund. So we created a process. This process, it took us years and years and years to develop. So if I found myself here and you consider me a success story, I'm not a success story, I'm still building the thing. But I learned through my journey in entrepreneurial three basic things, and those are the core. If I would deliver any message today, it would be those three things. First thing is the purpose. Why are we doing this? If we focused on the core and the reason we're creating whatever we're doing, if we are entrepreneurs, if we are ecosystem players, if we are people who are supporting entrepreneurs, we should focus on the reason or the purpose of the thing. Because if the reason is only money or only getting cash out of the thing, it will not succeed. Where's the added value? What we adding in the community? By the end of the day, money is, I cannot say getting money is easy, but getting money is the rhetoric of being an entrepreneur. But what is the added value? What is the solution that the business solves? We as entrepreneurs, it took us years and years and years to find out what is the solution. We wanted to solve an issue, but we didn't find back then the market fit or what can we offer. So we tried several programs, several trainings, several methodologies, but at the end of the day, we have a very specific purpose that we're working on every day and night. Myself and the team included, of course, they wake up in the morning, they know that their focus is supporting women. But how? This is the thing, this is what we do, this is what we live for. And after having and knowing the purpose, the second thing is listening. We have to listen well to our community, because this is the core. We're working for the community, or we're working for whomever we're serving. Even if I'm not a social entrepreneur, if I'm running a regular business or I'm running a typical business, me as a woman entrepreneur, I have to listen to my community or my people and customers, what they need. Because especially, and we've seen it very, very, very clear on those days in the COVID time, people change, and the needs of the community and people change. We have to focus and listen every single day to what they feel about what we're doing, what they need, because as they change, we have to change our business models, because this is what guarantees the business sustainability. Even a social enterprise or a regular business, we have to iterate and work around our business models every day to make sure that we're serving the purpose we're working for. Meanwhile, we're supporting the community. Meanwhile, we're sustainable. It's this fine line between having a successful and sustaining business and serving the community. But by the end of the day, we have to balance both to have a real impact on the society, on whomever we're working with. And the third thing, the support. No one succeeds alone. No one succeeds without the support of the community, the ecosystem. I remember one of the speakers just mentioned that her spouse is one of her support, and she has a family living nearby. The support system could be the family, could be the friends, could be the workmates, could be whomever believes in the idea. Focus on the support system. Build yourself a supporting system where you can grow and prosper out of this. Because by the end of the day, every night, and I believe if a lot of whomever is listening to me are entrepreneurs, we spend nights crying because of the pressure of the business. Sometimes it's very hectic and very stressful to run a business, especially that what we're facing is not easy, especially those days. And with the COVID time, the models are changing, companies are shutting down. So the supporting system is the most important thing. Find your own supporting system and listen to your community and listen to those supporting systems. Of course, not everything, we could not listen to everything, because sometimes it gives us like a headache and a mass of ideas. But we have to listen to what the community wants and how they perceive what we're doing. Finding the support system, finding the mentors, and doing what the community needs out of listening well serves the main purpose. And I believe this is the right formula any entrepreneur or an entrepreneur should work with to make sure the business is sustainable. Because if we don't have a real thing we're focusing on, if we lost the passion of this thing, we may lose the passion of the way itself, or the activity, or the tactic we're working on. But losing the passion towards the main focus that we're working on, the purpose itself, this is the issue. Here, sometimes we get depleted out of what's happening in the community and what's happening in the COVID and everything. But when we focus on the main purpose and remember why we started in the first place, this is the only thing I believe will help us continue whatever we're doing. So if I would refer to whatever or where entrepreneur is right now, it's because of those three main pillars that we focus on. Those are our three core values that we work on day and night to make sure that we are supporting ourselves first place and supporting the community. So this is my take on renaming me a success story. And I wish everyone achieve whatever they want to achieve. Focus on the purpose, focus on the value, because nobody succeeds without having a giving back or a give back to the community, without having a real value proposition that serves the customer, the community, and the network itself. This is my take. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak today. And thank you for the organizers, panelists, and attendees and speakers. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rania. Really, we are glad with your so enthusiastic presentation and your motivation,
Thank you.
and really put us in a move. So we are really happy with your presentation. And I have
Thank you
some
so much.
questions to you that
Sure.
we are going to share later, because now I need to move on with our second participant. She is from Argentina. She is Susana Balbo. We say hello, Susana. Hola, ¿cómo estás? We are happy to have you here. And we are really excited to listen to your success story. So I give you now the possibility.
Thank you very much. I'm glad you invited me. I'm very honored. I was wondering to do a presentation, but I think listening to the previous speaker, it's better to talk what is important for a women that want to be an entrepreneur rather than to talk about my story. Because alongside my life is 40 years working, I have so much things to tell to women that wants to make to be entrepreneurs, that I think is much better than to talk about my story as a waymaker or my company. You know, I think most of you knows my work is based making wines. I've been the first female winemaker in Argentina. I was graduated 40 years ago right now, so very long story working in the wine industry. When I became the first female winemaker, I didn't realize that I was paving the way for many others winemakers that followed me. But however, in that moment, I didn't realize how was going to be my difficulties, my milestones in the life, and also where I was living, that was in very isolated place, up in the mountains, without that much services, and in a company where you need services to run the company. That was really something very tough, very difficult to front to see. What taught me this experience. First of all, you never know where is your limit or what are your limitations, because sometimes you face a challenge that you think, oh, I'm not prepared for that. How are I going to face that? However, sooner or later, and usually sooner than later, you realize you are capable to solve these problems. If you have your mind open and to try to use your imagination, your research in your mind from your knowledge, and sometimes your knowledge is not related with the problem you are facing. However, it's giving you ideas on how to face that. I can give you very small examples. Um, where I was living, the fuel for cars were alcohol, and my car were not ready to use alcohol as a fuel. So every 1 week or 2 weeks, I have problem with the engine in my car, and also I didn't have a place to repair my car, so I was facing difficulty to move to my job. And one day I was looking at the mechanic, how he did the replacement, and I learned myself. And I thought, I can do myself because I know how you use the screw. I bought the replacement, and I was bringing in my car 5 or 6 replacement, and I was just doing when my car was stopped in the middle of the mountain with nowhere and no cellular phones 40 years ago to call for somebody to make help to me. So first of all, I think that taught me the limits is in your mind, always. It's in your mind. Sometimes we think because we are women, we have more problem than men. No, it's not true, because men has problem like us, but something that they are a little more clever than us. They use their networking. We usually women are not accustomed to use the networking and to call other women that could maybe face similar situation and ask, look, how did you solve this problem? Can you help me? And we are always, we are ready to help other people. So we need to learn what is the clever way in order to get the help to solve the problem we are facing. Why to become entrepreneurs? To become entrepreneurs gives you a freedom that any other job gives to you. So you are capable to raise your family, and you are the manager of your time. You manage your income because if you are clever making your business plan, this is something I would like to point out. When we want to become entrepreneurs, we must not think, I'm producing this and I'm going to sell. First of all, we need to research if what we produce or we offer as services, there is market where we can really have a customers. If we don't have the market or we don't have the customers available in our networking or from some other people's networking, we need to, the second thought is, I'm ready or I'm capable to develop the market. I can do that. There is an organization where I can be involved to develop the market for my product, and in that way become not only an entrepreneur, become a kind of the first people doing something that nobody else did. So sometimes this is very important. For instance, when I started making very high-end wines for export, Argentina was exporting 2% of our production. So the market, in fact, didn't exist for my wines because the world didn't know Argentina was a wine producer. And secondly, wine producer of good quality wines. So what I did, I decided to be involved in Wines of Argentina, an organization that was existing for many years, but not working very well in order to promote Argentina wines in the world. And I've been involved and I realized I could make a change in this organization that help all the other all the other wine producers, but my wines as well. Because if you want to build a category, you need to be enough mass of product in the market in order to become people aware about what you are doing. So I've been involved, and in fact, I did something very unusual because nobody wanted to vote for me as a president of Wines of Argentina because I was a woman. In their perception, I didn't have enough experience because I was not working with big companies, usually medium-sized company. And what I did, I was talking not door by door, small wineries, asking for their vote, telling them what I was thinking for the wine industry in Argentina, and I get the right from them to have their votes. And I came to the annual assembly and vote for myself. And I become the president of Wines of Argentina against all the other men from the big corporation, big companies, and that made the change in Wines of Argentina. And that was fantastic because I managed Wines of Argentina as a company, not as an organization, as a company. Needed to have people focused in certain markets because every winery has a export manager for Europe, for the United States, for Asia. Why Wines of Argentina was doing only one activity for Europe, only one for United States. To make a long story short, when I took over Wines of Argentina management, we were doing 8 activities per year. When I left the Wines of Argentina after 3 periods, because then they elected me 2 periods more as a Wines of Argentina president and 2 as a vice president, we were doing 250 activities per year all over the world. We invented the Malbec World Day, that is amazing movement one day all over the world. So Argentina grew from the export, the 2% of the production to 25% of the total production. And we grew from the market share in the world from 0.03% to 3.7% market share in the world. And that is when you are seeing the situation is not in favor of you, you need to prepare the situation to be in favor of you and your company, because my company grew with all the other wineries in the world. So first of all, you need to have our mindset open and to look where the opportunities could be and work chasing for that. I know my time is finished because I put the second thing I want to tell people, when you find something that you consider you cannot overcome, you cannot cross as a difficulty, don't think it's something you cannot change, it's a milestone in your life. No, think this is a limit I have. So this is a new starting point, maybe for another method, for another way to solve this problem. But never never forgives, never surround against the opportunity. Follow your dreams, find the strength, follow. Don't try to have everything under control because it's impossible. Leave your mind and your energy flowing with trusting in yourself. To become a good entrepreneur, you need 3 conditions: to have the knowledge, to have the research to start, and to believe in yourself. This is the most important. If you don't believe in yourself, you are going to fail. So it's very important to have faith in yourself, and you are capable to do, and you believe me, you are going to do. You are going to do and achieve much more than you really dream in your life. It happened to me. So I'm talking from my own experience. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I wish to have 1 hour to talk because I have so many things in my life to share with you.
Susana, thank you very much. It was really amazing and inspirational, and we would like to listen a little more, but we are going to let this for the end of this panel. After the 4 panelists present their insights, we are going to just ask some questions, and we are going to have the pleasure to listen to you again. Okay, thank you very much. And now I'm very glad to invite Cecilia from Barcelona. Cecilia Tan, Barcelona is a place I love a lot. So I'm very glad that you are here and you are going to give us a little sound from there. Okay, listen to you.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. I do have some slides to prepare. Unlike the others, I feel more comfortable if I have some visuals to share. So I'm not very good at talking just like that. So let me share my screen. Let me see. Please let me know when you guys could see it. Can you guys see my slides? Yes?
Yes, okay. Yes, it's clear.
Yes, I can see
So
your slides.
awesome. So my talk I have titled Unicorns and Underdogs. And unicorns, because as entrepreneurs, we always talk about being the next unicorn, having this exit, being this big company and having this massive success, right? But I'm actually not going to talk about unicorns. I am going to talk about the other side, which is the underdog, which I think I consider myself as. For those that are not English speaker, underdog is the almost like the loser. If you were to bet on people comparing to each other, there's a winner and then there's a loser. The loser is what is usually called the underdog. So I've always considered myself the underdog. And the reason for that is because, this is me. This was me. When I was, I don't know, 12 years old, I came from Macau and I grew up in Hong Kong and Macau, all over the map, actually. When I was younger, my family moved to Atlanta and then went to Buenos Aires to a backpacking trip. And then I landed in Barcelona. And yes, I absolutely love Barcelona. It's one of my, I've lived here for almost 18 years. But the problem was that a little bit contextually, when I was little, I studied in the US and I studied neuroscience. I wanted to become a doctor, but that didn't happen. My grades were not good enough. So I pivoted and then studied architecture, thinking that I'm going to be this really famous architect. That also did not happen, obviously. I landed somehow in Barcelona. And when I landed in Barcelona 18 years ago, I felt like this. I felt like this because I didn't speak Spanish, let alone Catalan. Forget it. I still don't speak Catalan. I wish my language skills just not that good enough. But didn't speak the language, didn't know anyone, couldn't find a job. I was very, very frustrated. And at that time, I was in my 20s. I was very insecure. Not only that, I was thinking, oh, I'm in Barcelona. I am in a city. I'm living in a man's world. I'm just thinking about having a family. And I was thinking, oh, poor me. I was victimizing myself, that I was always in a disadvantaged position. And so, after a while, I thought, you know what, maybe I should start thinking something else. I should start flipping some of these labels that I'm giving myself. Being a woman doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. So I started thinking, well, no, I'm not just only a woman. I am also a multitasker, right? I can do many things at once. And so I was like, yes, if I change that, if I could spin a positive on it, then I could do something. And so that's when I started my kind of entrepreneur career. I started first Makers of Barcelona. And so the story of Makers of Barcelona was that, I started the family. And at that time, my wonderful ex here, he is a wonderful man. I'm not crapping on him. So he's a wonderful man. And he gave me a sewing machine. And I was like, what year are we? What siglo, what century are we living in that you're gifting me a sewing machine? Okay. So, but it was an amazing gift because I don't know if any of you guys ever sewn, but like the first time I ever sewn, I saw this machine that was making this perfect line, taka, 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 and sewing two pieces of cloth together. And I did it myself. And I thought, wow, every time I make something, I increase a little bit of my own self-confidence. And I was like, wow, do people know this? Do people know that when you make things, and it doesn't matter what you're making, whether you're making clothes and shoes or making a business or coding or whatever it is that you're making, you are building self-confidence. And I was blown away. So I wanted to build a community of makers so that we can start sharing these energy and excitement and passion together. And that's when we started Makers of Barcelona. That was my first entrepreneur thing. But because I am so hooked on making stuff, I started the next entrepreneur business, which is Fab Cafe. So Fab Cafe is a hybrid of coffee shop plus digital fabrication tools. So think 3D printers and laser cutters. The reason for that is because I really wanted to democratize these machineries and these technologies to everyone. I wanted everyone to be able to make so that they can increase the self-confidence in them. And so, young people from, 6 years old would come in and laser cut their own cookies for their birthday, to elderly people that are retired and wanted to be connected to technologies. And so we built another community of people who share this love of making together. I also thought being a mother doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. I'm the mother of two beautiful girls, and I thought, you know, I could learn from this and I could build on it. And I thought to myself, no, I'm not only a mother, I could be also an educator. And so from after Fab Cafe, I started my third startup, which is All Women. And All Women is a tech platform to teach women data science, AI, UX, UI, product management for women by women, because we really wanted to create the pipeline to funnel women into tech jobs in companies. And so that's the platform of All Women. We're growing a hybrid online and offline community beyond the city limit. COVID actually helped us grow globally as a community. And I thought, you know, I'm not just an immigrant here in Barcelona. No, I am international. If I have hair, I would actually flip my hair, but I don't have hair. So, being international instead of an immigrant, it gives me a leverage of something that I could project myself outward, right? Almost like as a benefit, as an advantage. So this is my group of friends that I was very, very lucky to be able to participate in Singularity University, where I learned, in 3 months in NASA in California, learned how to apply some of these technologies that they have taught us in solving global challenges, especially in climate change, which became my main interest and focus. And so I also said to myself, I'm not just a minority. If not, I am unique. I am unique in this world, and this is my selling point. And so flipping these labels allowed me to give advantage of repositioning myself into this context. And so right now I am, this is the last company I founded, and I'm really proud to say that this is founded in COVID times. So I'm gonna have a badge of like companies being founded in COVID, which is in of its own a challenge itself. So Futurity Studio is my latest venture. We are a global and research design venture studio based in Barcelona, and we sit in the intersection of design, technology, and social and business innovation. It's a mouthful, but I say unique because I call myself a futures synthesis. So I create future scenarios and future businesses and future opportunities. It's a title that doesn't exist. I created itself because I realized that, you know, being a future-driven innovation entrepreneur, that world has to be created by me and be painted by me. And so we've done things like the future of commerce, the future of food, for example. In this particular project, we're talking about how using plant scaffolding for decellularization. Not going to go into that, but we work with companies such as the World Food Program for the future of food security, companies like NASA for the future of space nutrition. And so just to wrap it up, I love this quote by Malcolm Gladwell. It says, being an underdog opens doors and creates opportunities, and lightens and allows things that might otherwise have seemed unthinkable. And so these labels that we're giving ourselves at the end of the day, they are just labels. We are, you know, I can just be as much of a unicorn as I want it to be, or as much of an underdog as we want it to be. So when we're talking about success, it is not defined by others. It is defined by how we want ourselves to be. And so with that, thank you. This is my email. Love to connect with everyone. Please find me at LinkedIn. And thank you very much for this opportunity. Oh, I don't know how to quit. Okay, where's the button? Sorry.
Maybe you close
I have no
it.
idea. Okay, yeah, there we go.
Very good. We come back. Cecilia, thank you very much. I'm so happy that you accept to come here and to talk with us, because it is everything in your speech. Okay, it is resilience, it is learning, it's a positive, fresh, and full of ideas and energy, and we're all very glad to listen to you, and we're going to come back to you a little later, because now we have the moment to talk with Lara Tabet, that I thanks a lot to be here. I know that she's very busy. We were talking previously earlier this morning, and she can find a moment to come here and share with us her experience. So Lara, thank you very much to be here, and I give you the mic.
Thank you very much, Ines. It's a pleasure to be with you guys. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. Can you hear me? Is the line clear? Yeah. So my journey, I'm originally Lebanese, born and brought up in Dubai. I lived in Switzerland for 3 years, in the US, in Wichita, Kansas for 2 years, in the UK for 4 years. I've majored in hospitality management, where I came back to Dubai to join the family business of hotels, which I worked in for a total of 15 years. And then I was headhunted by the first English language TV station that was setting up here in the region, known as InTV, to be a TV presenter. Went in for a casting, and a few years later had 7 shows of my own that I was producing and presenting. I've done shows like the hotel show, the yacht show, the real estate show, where we covered all the latest real estate developments, hotels, etc. here in the region. I've done interviews with over 7,000 celebrities, not only from Hollywood, Bollywood, and Arab cinema, but rulers of different countries, kings, members of royal families, etc., etc. And then I was approached by some top luxury brands from different parts of Europe that wanted me to be their brand ambassador. And the role of brand ambassador does not only involve being the face of the brand, but also doing business development for the brand. So getting them into prime locations like leading malls, leading outlets such as Harrods, Harvey Nichols in London, Burj Al Arab, Emirates Palace in Abu Dhabi, etc., etc. So that was my role with the luxury brands that I represented. I worked very closely with Michael Brugler watches from Zurich, Switzerland, Margie's Monte Carlo, the world's most luxurious skincare from Monaco. I'm also on the board of the Arab Fashion Council, where we organize Arab Fashion Week here in Dubai during the month of March, as well as during the month of October, where we have a total of 45 designers, not only locally, but from on a global level, that showcase their collections with us here in Dubai. I'm also part of the Middle East Fashion Council, which is recently set up here in the region, where we're also going to be inviting designers from all around the world to showcase their collections with us. At the same time, I'm involved in a little bit of philanthropy work here with Dubai government, where we host 4 events every single year. And whatever we raise goes to Emirates Red Crescent, as well as Rashid Center for the Disabled, which are 2 organizations based here in Dubai. And I personally work closely with St. Jude's Cancer Hospital for children that are born with cancer in Beirut, Lebanon. So that is Lara Tabit in a nutshell. Hello, Ines?
Hello, do you listen to me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. I have a small problem of interference because there is a noise at the end of your presentation. So,
okay. Would you like me to repeat that at the end of my presentation?
Just the last part, because it was another, and I asked for all the other people if they can turn off their microphones during the presentation. Okay.
Absolutely. Okay. So basically, the last part of my presentation was the charity work that I'm involved in. So I'm part of a board of 11 women here in Dubai, where we do a lot of philanthropy work here in the region. So we host 4 events every single year, and whatever we raise goes to 2 organizations here in Dubai. One is known as Emirates Red Crescent and Rashid Center for the Disabled. And I personally work very closely with a hospital in Beirut, Lebanon, known as St. Jude's Cancer Hospital for children that are born with cancer. That's Lara Tabit in a nutshell. Those are a few of the activities that I'm involved in here in the region.
That's it. I'm sorry. Thank you very much, Lara. It was just the last sentence that I lost because of this noise. And it is very interesting. It is full of different things and very, very interesting. And we have these different panelists that are sharing today their ideas. And I'm very happy to moderate this panel. And now we are going to go to the questions part. So if you give me just one moment, because there is a lot of comments that, as you see, people are saying that your presentations are wonderful. Thank you for being here, and it is great. And I have one question for all of you, for all the 4 panelists. And I want to, what is your definition of success in a women entrepreneurship? What is success?
My personal definition of success is to be able to achieve the targets and goals that I set for myself. And if I've achieved those and I'm satisfied with what I've achieved, for me, that is the definition of success, true success. And whatever it is that I do in life, I cannot do it without passion. So the passion has to lie there. So passion for me and success are a combination, and they go hand in hand. For me, that's me on a personal level. Yeah.
Very good. Cecilia?
I hope I answered.
I want to say as well, my definition, because I'm commuting, so I'm not quite sure that you hear me well. I believe that success comes when you think of it. Once you keep trying to be successful, you succeed. But once you decide that you are successful already, this is where the curve starts to go down. Because if we did not develop every single day, we'll never keep being successful. Being successful once is easy, but maintaining the success habits, this is the challenge. This is where we have to work day and night to be sure that we're always developing and growing. And this is for me the definition of success.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, Rania. Cecilia?
I think I'm very much purpose driven, and I think as for other entrepreneurs, I think purpose should be first and foremost, and mission driven and purpose driven. And so, as long as the purpose has been fulfilled, for me, that's a success.
Very good. Thank you.